Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm playing for you series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I said I was going to do this video, and I'm doing it. And that doesn't always happen. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today, folks? What happens to me? My boom, it's my Stellar Circuit shirt. One of a few that I have. But, what Stellar Circuits? Well, if you're asking that question, one of two things must be the case. Either you don't watch my videos enough, or maybe you just skip over my intros. Which, to be fair, Stellar Circuits is a really fucking awesome kind of progressive metal band out of North Carolina. I became aware of these guys a few years ago. I actually got a Facebook, ad thing for them, and I'm one of the few people, when it's music related, I'll actually follow up on that stuff. And I ended up looking into their stuff, and I somehow ended up being a part of their fan group that they had on Facebook. Didn't even realize it, and then, maybe a few months later, I dug a little bit deeper into what they were doing, and I was like, holy shit, I really like these guys. I like them so much. I've seen them perform live. I try every year to see them perform live. They're a phenomenal band. I've seen them a bunch of times. I've actually got videos of said performances. They're on the channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're an absolutely phenomenal band. But anyway, what am I doing for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why is it a thing that I said I would do? So, a week ago, well, okay, not a week ago, a few days ago, I went over there and I did a review of a new Mountain Dew flavor that just became available at the time, I'm doing this, 2024. It happened to be, boom, Mountain Dew Citrus Blackberry flavor. And you can watch that video if you want my full take on it. But I mentioned in that video that I was a little bit surprised that this had come out because there's already a Blackberry Mountain Dew. It's called Mountain Dew Legend, and it's exclusive to Buffalo Wild Wings. And in that review, near the, kind of midway point, it got in my head, I wonder if they're just the same damn thing. And then I got the idea, maybe I'll do a comparison video. So, boom, Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Mountain Dew Legend. You're just going to have to take my word for it, but I promise it is. And I have reviewed Mountain Dew Legend as well. I'm actually a big fan of it. So, I wanted to see if these were basically the same thing or a little bit different. I will say one thing that's interesting. The Mountain Dew Citrus Blackberry, it's Citrus Blackberry as it's known. If you look up the actual definition of Mountain Dew Legend, it is a blackberry citrus. So, yeah, they just inverted it. This one, though, specifically notes that it has raspberry flavor, whereas this says just blackberry and other natural flavors. So, natural flavors in a Mountain Dew. We all know that's a lie. Let's get a thing for the thing, folks. I'm going to try to do it like this. Maybe like that. Let's find out if it's the same stuff. I will start off with the Mountain Dew Citrus Blackberry. I've had a couple since then. Gave one to a coworker. He enjoyed it as well, so. Smells nice. Smells familiar. It's nice. It's smooth. It does have a nice blackberry flavor to it. I don't really know that the raspberry comes into play. I'm guessing that's more to accentuate something. The one thing I will say that I took issue with when I reviewed it the first time, and I'm still taking issue with it now, I don't get a lot of citrus. I'm expecting there to be some bite, especially, you think blackberry. Blackberry's got a little bite to it. I would personally like some bite to go over there and sort of contrast, because otherwise it's a very nice, very sweet, very fruity Mountain Dew. I would like a little extra bite, just to bounce it back. And that's what got me on the idea of reviewing it against Mountain Dew Legend, because I recall Mountain Dew Legend having that bite. So, but it is still a very nice Mountain Dew. I love the idea of a blackberry flavored Mountain Dew. I think that's fantastic. But it is just a little unbalanced for me. You know, it works, but I think it's just a little bit sweet on sweet. Again, just a little something just to cut through it. I personally think would go over there and enhance the overall experience. But let's compare it against Mountain Dew Legend, see if it's the same shit. So, now obviously it's going to be a little bit different because this does come from a fountain drink, so it's like, but okay. 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 They are slightly different. They're very similar, but each one of them highlights something a little bit differently. And I think that's kind of why I have my own personal feelings as far as like one versus the other. So the Mountain Dew Citrus Blackberry, this one, it has a stronger blackberry flavor. It's more defined. Whereas with the Mountain Dew Legend, maybe it's just a result of the fountain drink aspect of it or whatever, but it still has a notable blackberry flavor, but it feels a little bit watered down by comparison. And that I'm not surprised by, because again, fountain drink version typically tastes a little bit weaker than, the bottled version tends to be more condensed. However, the thing that kind of brought me back to this original point, there is a little bit of extra bite to the Mountain Dew Legend. It tingles your tongue a little bit, it holds a little bit longer, and it's not, even though it's very similar, it's not just straight sweet. There's a little something extra to it. There is that little citrus hit that personally I think goes over there. It gives it a nice counterbalance to the sweet and fruity flavors. But it is really interesting because I kind of came into this expecting this one to sort of blow out the citrus blackberry, because like I really like this one. I've always really thought it was a really nice Mountain Dew, even going back to my original review. But side by side, it's a tougher decision, because I do think that the citrus blackberry, again, I think it has a fuller blackberry flavor. But on the Mountain Dew Legend side, like I said, it has a little extra bite. It highlights that citrus a little bit better. If you went over there and took the strengths of both of these, I think that would be the perfect incarnation of this. Now, I do want to mention, the bite isn't that strong. It's actually less strong than I remembered it being. So, but it's still stronger than the Mountain Dew Citrus Blackberry. Okay, well, interesting. All right, 2 questions have to be asked. 3. Would I get it again? Well, I guess in this case, would I get them again? Would I recommend them? And who the hell is my winner? Yes, and one more go. Better blackberry flavor. Better citrus flavor, but oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. Boom, I'm giving it to the citrus blackberry. I think that I really love what Mountain Dew Legend does, and especially with it being an exclusive flavor and, something that I only get very occasionally, because, like, I don't go out to Buffalo Wild Wings that often, maybe a couple times a month. It's always a nice treat for me to have it. This is definitely the more mature and commercial version of the Mountain Dew Legend. It's got a more impactful flavor overall. the only thing that the Mountain Dew Legend really does slightly better is, again, it has a little bit more bite. So, as much as I really like the Mountain Dew Legend, as much as I expected it to win, I do have to give it to the citrus blackberry, because the blackberry flavor is just, again, it's more pronounced. It's just a better overall drinking experience. Whereas with the Mountain Dew Legend, I feel like, because it's something, again, I would only get here and there, it was always a nice treat, something I could look forward to. But side by side, damn it, Mountain Dew Legend, I love you, but I gotta give it to the citrus blackberry. And if I would recommend these, I mean, look, I think both are really nice Mountain Dews. Blackberry's a great flavor, and I think that, honestly, you kind of can't go wrong with either one. Like I said, I would give the citrus blackberry a little bit of an edge. They're definitely very similar products with obviously similar flavors. Just the citrus blackberry, it's a little bit more bold in what it does. But I do think that, again, the Mountain Dew Legend, like, I'm still going to get Mountain Dew Legend pretty much whenever I go to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's a nice thing. I like what it does. So yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where, even though one did win out, you kind of can't go wrong. I think both are good incarnations of a Blackberry Mountain Dew. But again, I do feel like there is that penultimate version of this if you mix the strengths of both of those. But 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there yourselves a truly bevely of Blackberry Mountain Dews-tastic rest of your life. Because Blackberry Mountain Dews, that's just what we live in a world with 2 of them now. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, do you have a personal favorite flavor of Mountain Dew? Maybe a discontinued flavor that you'd like to see return? It's always possible, Mountain Dew, I mean, they come out with new flavors, they get rid of some of the old ones, they cycle a little bit. I think for me personally, I recall Supernova being one that I enjoyed quite a bit. And that one, as far as I understand, was still available in other countries for quite a while afterwards. There was a mango one that I think I remember liking, so that's the double-edged sword that is Mountain Dew. They come out with a million flavors. You might find one that's a favorite, but it also might just go away after a year or two. So, but anyway, bye.